then from the home office in Easton, Pennsylvania, Michael, quote, Zipper, unquote, R, asks a whopper of a stumper. Hi, Matt. I hope you survive your move and find all your belongings intact. I always like to follow up on those when Michael asks that. How did you survive your move, or are you still in the middle of it?
We're out of the house. The house is mostly empty. We gotta go back and get like the last few things that, you know, every time I go, there's some empty cardboard boxes that we're saving because Paula has a patient that's going to move and needs boxes. And it's like, okay, well, here's the boxes. Let's get them out of the house. My drawing table that I haven't touched in, haven't used as a drawing table in 7 years, 8 years. Like, we moved it into the house. I put it down in the basement in the corner, and then kind of sort of went, okay, well, I can draw on the dining room table. I can draw on the computer. I can, when I need to draw, I can find a flat surface because it's not actually a drawing table. It's, and you're gonna laugh, and I know you're gonna laugh, which is making me laugh. I bought it used from the lumberyard. It's a carpet display. It's a metal rack with a curved top, but it's a gentle curve, and it kind of looks like a drawing table, but again, it's got a curve to it. So when you lay the piece of paper down, it kind of naturally folds back a little. But it's the size of a drawing table, and it was one of these it was in the lumberyard's clearance department for like $5, and I'm like, I can use this. This will work. And I bought it and put it in my first apartment, and I used it all the time. The problem is it's got this curve to it, so anything you put on it rolls off. There's a tray to it. Well, there isn't a tray. Because it's designed for carpet samples, it's got a stopper on the bottom of it to stop the carpet samples from falling off that screws on, and I adjusted the height to be exactly the width of a yardstick, and bought a couple yardsticks and braced it so that my pencils and stuff wouldn't roll off onto the floor constantly. It's metal, so I can put magnets on it and the whole paper and stuff, so that I'm doing this. And it was for $5. It was amazing. But again, I haven't touched it other than using it as a really inconvenient table where I set something on it, and if it's not balanced right, it's going to fall off, in 7-8 years. So I got to get that out of the basement, and I'm putting it on the curb, and there's a guy in the neighborhood that collects scrap metal, and he's going to come by and pick it up and take it away because that's what he does. Like, last Thursday, we put one of the kids' bikes that they grew out of on the curb, and he's like, you got any more scrap metal? And I'm like, I do, just not ready to go. And he's like, oh, okay. And very much he had the look on his face of, well, let me know when you're putting it out because I'll come and get it. And it's like, yeah, okay. I'll come back next week. It'll be on the curb. I have two tables, 6-foot tables that we got that are from the library that we bought in an auction, and we use them for rummage sales and stuff, but they're really sturdy, really heavy, really solid tables. And I took one down into the basement, and I brought it back up when we had a rummage sale, and then I took it back down, and I very much said, that's never leaving the basement again until I'm dead. And Paula went, okay. And then I took the second table down there because I needed more table space because I'm a hoarder and I have a lot of crap, and said, okay, again, I'm not bringing these out unless we absolutely need them. And so those got to come out. Like, all the important stuff is gone, is out of the house, and it's either in our storage unit or in the apartment. Like, I forget how many bookcases I had, but I had a bookcase that I got from my brother that I was letting my friend use to store stuff at the house. And my brother, when I'm moving, my brother said, okay, I want it back. And then he's like, oh, no, you can have it. And it's so I have this 9-foot wide, maybe almost 9-foot tall metal bookcase that all the shelves are adjustable. And I'm like, oh, this is great. And I set it up and took a picture of it. And I'm like, this is great. And then I put all my service stuff on it. And I took a picture and put it on the Facebook group going, as long as I don't buy any more phone books, they'll all fit on one shelf, because each shelf is 3 feet wide.
Right.
And
right.
I have between the original phone books, the remastered phone books, the Service in Hell, or Swords of Service in Hell soft covers, the Swords of Service in Hell hard covers, Swords of Service, and a few other odds and ends. It's exactly 3 feet, or just a hair shy, so I can get the stuff in and out. I'm like, I put the picture up, and somebody immediately commented, well, yeah, until Dave announces he's doing volume 17, and I'm like, funny you should mention that, because we've been talking about it. It's not going to happen, but we've been talking about it.
Right. So, well, I'm doing my part then to make sure that my life's work fits on Matt Dow's bookcase, metal bookcase. I think that's going to be my story from now on. I would like to produce more work, but I just can't do it to Matt. It barely fits his bookshelf as it is.
Well,
getting back to Michael R. Where are we here? I just purchased Al Nickerson's, excuse me, The Sword of Eden, Volume 2. Any kind words about the book? And it's like many, many kind words about the book. I have to say that thank you, Michael, for asking that, because it gave me the excuse to reread it as part of my Please Hold for Dave Sim research for June 2024. It's a very interesting. I mean, it's a really interesting book. Both Sword of Eden books are very, 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 very accomplished pieces of work in the we call it the Frank Miller Ronin end of things. There are people who know how to do the Frank Miller Ronin riffs. Kevin and Peter definitely did. There are a lot of people who think they know how to do it, and they really don't know how to do it. Or they're enthusiastic, but they bring something else to the table. What interests me about Al Nickerson's take is the fact that it is definitely a Christian approach to ninjas. As I said before about Al Nickerson's approach with Rebecca Stern is of an apostate Jew who converts to Christianity, which is, for a Christian, it's a happy ending. The same thing as ninjas, samurai, martial arts, all those kinds of things. They're definitely of another culture, and in terms of a humanist approach of saying this is another culture. We're in the West, we're in North America, we're humanists, and these are Japanese people. They come from a different background, viva la différence kind of thing. Whereas it's no, these are ninjas, and it does have magic influence and sword Sword of Eden, both volumes. But he's documenting Christian good versus evil, which is, we're comic book fans. We've grown up with good versus evil, but good versus evil is always, this person is evil because they're trying to conquer the world and enslave everybody or destroy the environment or whatever it is. Just check the synopsis on any Marvel movie, and we're the good people that want to stop them. For a Christian, good people are people who believe in God, and not only believe in God, but believe that Jesus Christ is their personal Savior, which is, you get references to that through Al's work. It's not beating you over the head with it, but Rebecca Stern says, no, the only route to God is through Jesus Christ, and full stop. That's it. She's made up her mind about that, and she's a very determined young lady, born Jewish, daughter of Zion, but definitely a person who believes Jesus Christ is the Messiah, and that's you either believe in Jesus Christ as your root in the afterlife, or you're going to hell. So consequently, the evil beings in the book, and there's a lot of borderline beings where we haven't really been told specifically that this is an evil being, but they're evil because they don't believe in Jesus Christ. So consequently, a lot of them are well-meaning, but well-meaning doesn't cut the cheese for a Christian. It's you either believe that Jesus Christ is the Messiah, and this is your first loyalty to Him and to Christianity, or you're going to hell. And so consequently, you get into interesting discussions, interesting plot points. One of the ones that I was drawn to that's on the back cover as part of the synopsis, and is a sort of throwaway plot point in Sword of Eden Shinobi, is the idea of dying is scary to some folks. And it's like that's a very, very different thing for a Christian and for a monotheist like myself than it is for a humanist. A humanist is going to look at that and go, well, yeah, everybody's scared of dying. Nobody wants to die. And it's like, no, if you've definitely settled in your own mind that you're a Christian and you have accepted Christ as your personal Savior, and this is what you believe is the difference between going to heaven or going to hell, you're not afraid of dying. What would you be afraid of? And it's I don't have the specificity. I do give equal weight to Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. But definitely, I had the experience when I was in the hospital in 2015 and going in for bowel surgery, and going like this isn't even remotely concerning to me, as opposed to the last time I was in the hospital when I was an atheist. And it's like, what if I die? That's a horrible thought that I'm going to die. To me, it's like, well, I'm with God while I'm physically incarnated, to whatever extent I'm able to be with God. And if my physical form, my physical body, dies because something happens in the operation, I'll be with God, but I'll actually be on the other side. I'll be in the spirit world, not the physical world. And this makes for a very different good versus evil experience in reading Sword of Eden, where the bad guys are the bad guys, but they're getting more and more immersed in witchcraft and demoniac pursuits and whatnot, and that's specifically attributed by one of the heroes to being afraid to die. If you're that afraid to die, and you do have aptitudes, in the realm of spirit, but you don't want to be with God. You don't want to get on God's side. Consequently, yes, you just get in further and further up to your eyeballs and get more and more afraid of dying. The bad guys want to be immortal and want to have control over as many people as they can, and that's as a result of being disconnected from God. So it's very difficult for the heroes to try and explain to them. You wouldn't be going through this experience if you were just thinking right. If you were accepting reality that God is the center of the universe, and for a Christian, Jesus Christ is his son, is his offspring, is his emissary on earth, and is, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one is coming under the Father except through me. That's beginning, middle, and end. That's what you believe. If you would just do that, you wouldn't be afraid of dying anymore, and you wouldn't be doing all of this self-destructive stuff, trying to keep from dying. And it makes for a very, to me, satisfying read, because it's like, right, this is what good versus evil is about, as far as I know and as far as I'm concerned. And if you're drawn to good versus evil, you're drawn to superheroes versus super ninjas, and when it comes to that, it's Nickerson's laying it on in the trowel. I mean, you got Nemish Man, Crusader Girl, Super Dad, and Ninja Spider, and those are that's the current team of heroes in this current volume. And what unites them is the belief in God, and we're not going around trying to destroy demoniacal presences and demoniacal leaders and cults of personality, because we're opposed to them being that way. It's that you're doing other stuff to other people in the name of what you are doing, and we can't abide that. We're live and let live people, but you've got to live and let live. Let live is a big part of it. If you start getting immersed in this, no, I have to do this stuff to you because I'm afraid of dying. It's like, well, okay, I didn't want to have to do this to you, but now you've made it a kill or be killed thing. And like I say, it's just adding good in its larger capital G sense back into the mix that has been eliminated from our society, where was Superman a Christian? Was Batman a Jew? Was Spider-Man a Presbyterian? it's like, well, we don't want to get into that. And it's like, well, so what are you doing documenting good versus evil? I mean, pick a side, or you're just part of the esoteric people going, there's more here than meets the eye. Well, if you're ignoring self-evident reality, yes, there is. It's Goya, the sleep of reason produces monsters, which, the brilliant print that he did, certainly in terms of his way of thinking, as one of the bright lights of the art world, he's definitely in the upper echelon. Not many higher, no higher than Goya. The sleep of reason produces monsters. We were in a time period where reason led to God. It was, well, where do you think everything came from? Where do you think wars come from? Where do you think our sense of good and evil comes from, and our compelling need to define good and evil for ourselves, and to listen to other opinions, and not to say, well, I now have to eradicate you because of your opinion, but, okay, where do I disagree with this person? And why do I disagree with this person? And should I be persuaded by this person? It's most of our reality was that way. That was what reason was for. That was what the age of reason was about. We can reason our way through this as God-fearing men. This is our role. This is what we were put here on the earth to be. Is God's viceroys, and part of the hierarchy that for a Christian rises to the apex of the Mashiach, and from there is the conduit to God. Full stop. So I really can't recommend it. Al Nickerson's work, and Shinobi picks right up where the first Sword of Eden left off. And if you are a humanist, if you're not, one of those, I really don't want to read a Christian superhero. Like I say, he doesn't hit you over the head with it. It's just from a Christian perspective, and where he sees evil, and what the whole discussion with evil is about, and why we have things like D-Day, which we're recording this on the 80th anniversary of D-Day. It's like, there you go. That was, this wasn't just an esoteric, hey, let's do this for 6 years. It was, no, this is as part of the turnover of God's clockwork mechanism. You do get, a spanner in the works, which is definitely what Adolf Hitler was, and you do end up with monumental good versus evil, and then decades and decades trying to piece together, okay, what do we think of this? A lot of Christians are just, no, we can't countenance war in any form for any reason. And it's like, well, you can try and hold to that position, but you are going to end up in situations where, no, you do have to deal with this. This is being forced upon you, and nobody expects that to happen when it does happen. And it's very interesting and very gratifying to me that Al Nickerson is taking the trouble to apply that to the tropes that we're all familiar with. It's like, okay, here's what you've been reading for the last number of decades of your life, and it's at one level, yeah, I know exactly what it is. It's like, yes, it's Jack Kirby and it's Frank Miller and it's ninjas and it's space vehicles and ray beams and all of those kinds of things. But here it is, just within a Christian template. I'm not going to hit you over the head with it. It's just I'm riffing on this stuff, and I can't. I'm not comfortable as a creator riffing on this without having Christianity as part of its overall template. So there you go. Do I have kind words about the book? Michael R. I have nothing but kind words about the book.